If you're a woman who feels like every man you meet is emotionally unavailable, immature, unreliable, or just not worth your time, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not broken, and you are definitely not imagining things. For over 20 years, I've worked with incredible women who feel exhausted by dating. They're smart, they're successful, they're kind, and yet they keep hitting the same wall. They look around and think, where are all the good men? It's a question that can make you feel incredibly lonely and even start to doubt yourself. But the problem isn't you. The problem is the system you're navigating. So today, we're going to break it down. Why it feels this way. The hidden patterns that keep you stuck. And most importantly, what actually works to find a truly worthwhile partner. After 2 decades of clinical work and seeing countless relationship dynamics play out, I can tell you this with absolute certainty. There aren't fewer good men in the world. It just feels that way because the dating system, especially online, creates a massive distortion. Think about it. The men who are most visible on dating apps are often the ones who are masters of the game. They're charming, they're exciting, and they know how to get attention. Their profiles are filled with phrases like just looking for fun, no labels, or let's just go with the flow. These are the men who are constantly cycling through the dating pool, matching with everyone, going on lots of first dates, and then disappearing. Because they are so active, the algorithms push them to the top. They are overrepresented. Meanwhile, the stable, emotionally available, relationship-ready men, they find a good partner, and they're gone. They aren't spending years swiping. So, the pool you're swimming in isn't an accurate reflection of reality. It's a shallow pond filled with the most active and often least available players. You're not seeing a shortage of good men. You're just seeing an overabundance of the wrong ones. This brings me to a huge trap that so many of us fall into. We confuse chemistry with compatibility. That initial rush, the butterflies, the feeling that you can't stop thinking about him. We've been taught to believe that this intense spark is the ultimate sign of a great connection. But here is the truth. Strong chemistry often has nothing to do with emotional health or long-term potential. In fact, that intense, can't eat, can't sleep feeling is often a sign of anxiety, not love. It's triggered by unpredictability. When someone is inconsistent hot one day, cold the next hour, brains go into overdrive, trying to figure them out. That roller coaster of highs and lows feels addictive, but it's not passion, it's a stress response. Compatibility, on the other hand, feels very different. It's calmer, it's a sense of ease, safety, and mutual understanding. It's the feeling that you can be your true self without fear of judgment. It doesn't mean it's boring. It means it's secure. We need to stop chasing the chemical high of anxiety and start looking for the quiet confidence of genuine compatibility. Anxiety is not passion. This dynamic leads to one of the most painful patterns in modern dating. The pursue-withdraw cycle. Does this sound familiar? You meet someone, and the beginning is incredibly intense. He pursues you hard. Constant texts, long phone calls, future faking about all the amazing things you'll do together. You'll feel shunned, desired, and swept off your feet. This is the peak, and then, just as you start to feel secure and open up, he pulls away. The texts become less frequent. He's suddenly busy with work. The plans you made become vague. You're left in a state of complete confusion, replaying every conversation, wondering what you did wrong. This isn't an accident. It's a classic pattern, often seen with people who have an avoidant attachment style. They crave intimacy but are terrified by it, so they pursue until the connection becomes real, and then they withdraw to create distance and feel safe again. You're left on the other side feeling bewildered and heartbroken, often blaming yourself. But it was never about you. It was about their own internal conflict, and you were just caught in the cycle. Now let's talk about a pattern I see in so many high-achieving, capable women. Overfunctioning in relationships. Because you're competent in every other area of your life, you bring that same energy into your romantic connections. You do more of the emotional labor. You're the one initiating difficult conversations, planning all the dates, and constantly trying to understand his perspective. You give more patience, more understanding, more effort. You essentially carry all the emotional baggage for the both of you, hoping that if you just give a little more, he'll finally step up. But what this does is create a massive imbalance. It teaches him that he doesn't have to contribute equally because you will always pick up the slack. Love should not feel like a one-sided job. A healthy relationship is a partnership where both people are invested. Both are contributing, and both are carrying their own weight. If you feel like you are constantly doing more, it's a sign that you are over-functioning, and it's a dynamic that is completely unsustainable. You deserve someone who meets you halfway. Tied directly to this is the tendency to fall in love with potential. You meet a man and you don't just see who he is right now. You see who he could be. You see the glimmers of the kind, ambitious, and committed partner he could become. If only he tried a little harder. If only he healed from his past. If only he got that new job. You see a fixer-upper, and you believe that with your love and support, you can help him renovate his life. But let me be very clear. Relationships are not renovation projects. You cannot build a life with a blueprint. You have to build it with the person standing in front of you today. Falling in love with someone as potential is a way of avoiding the reality of who they are right now. And potential doesn't pay the emotional bills. Potential is not commitment. Potential is not respect. You have to be honest with yourself and ask, am I in a relationship with this person or with the idea of this person? A man who is truly ready for a relationship won't need you to be his project manager. He'll be doing the work on his own. And underneath all of these patterns, there's often a quiet, insidious fear at play. This fear doesn't shout. It's not dramatic. It whispers. After a few bad dates, after another disappointment, that little voice starts to creep in. It says, maybe this is as good as it gets. Or, what if I'm being too picky? Or the most dangerous one of all, maybe I should just lower my standards. This fear of being alone can subtly, almost unconsciously, cause you to accept behavior that you know is beneath you. You start making excuses for his inconsistency. You ignore red flags because you're tired of starting over. But compromising on your core needs isn't a strategy for finding love. It's a strategy for settling for less than you deserve. Recognizing this fear is the first step to overcoming it. Your standards are not the problem. They are your protectors. They are the gatekeepers to a healthy, fulfilling relationship. Don't let fear convince you to give them up. So, what actually works? How do you break these cycles and find a truly worthwhile man? The first and most critical shift is to start screening for character, not for intensity. The fireworks, the drama, the chase stats, not the mark of a quality partner. A worthwhile man shows his value through consistency. He does what he says he's going to do. He follows through. He communicates clearly, even when it's uncomfortable. He doesn't play games or leave you guessing. He respects your boundaries from the very beginning. Instead of looking for someone who makes your heart race with anxiety, look for someone who makes you feel safe and respected. Create a mental checklist. Is he consistent? Is he respectful? Is he emotionally stable? Is he kind not just to you, but to others? These are the real green flags. These are the qualities that build a lasting, secure foundation. Character is quiet. It reveals itself over time through actions, not grand histories. The next powerful step is to stop explaining your standards. When you set a boundary, for example, I'm not available to hang out last minute, or I prefer to have a plan for our dates. You do want to owe anyone a lengthy explanation or defense. Your standards are your standards. The right man won't debate them. He won't try to negotiate them down. He won't make you feel demanding for having them. He will simply hear you and respect them. A man who pushes back on your boundaries, who questions your needs, or who makes you feel difficult is showing you his intentions right away. He's showing you that his desires are more important than your comfort. Boundaries are a beautiful filter. They don't push the right people away. They reveal who is and isn't willing to respect you. State your needs clearly and calmly, and then watch how he responds. His response will tell you everything you need to know. Finally, you must consciously choose clarity over confusion. A healthy, secure attachment feels clear. A worthwhile man who is genuinely interested in you does not keep you guessing. You won't have to spend hours analyzing his texts with your friends. You won't wonder where you stand. He will make his intentions known through his consistent actions and clear communication. For so long, we've been conditioned to think that this kind of predictability is boring. We've mistaken the chaos of unhealthy dynamics for excitement. But emotional clarity is not boring. It's secure. It's peace. It's the freedom to relax into a connection and actually build something real, instead of constantly trying to solve a puzzle. When you feel that familiar fog of confusion start to roll in, recognize it as a red flag. A partner worth your time will want to clear the fog, not create Italiano. At the end of the day, you don't need to become less. You don't need to be less demanding, less ambitious, or less yourself. You just need to become more precise in what you're looking for. The goal isn't to find someone who excites your anxiety and makes your life a roller coaster. The goal is to find someone who respects your peace so deeply that it becomes the foundation of your relationship. Peace is the new standard. It's the ultimate green flag, and it's what you absolutely deserve. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights on building healthy, happy relationships.